Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Buster Faulkner heading to Florida. Now, I was a fan of the Brad White hire. I am a monster fan of this move by Jon Sumrall. Now, we did our instant reaction yesterday afternoon when we got this news. I want to take it a little bit of a step further. What to expect from Buster Faulkner? What are some of the biggest concerns that we might have? I think most obviously the reliance on the quarterback run game up there at Georgia Tech. Who's going to be the starting quarterback for Florida in 2026? Because that's a monster conversation as well. We talked about you got to get the offensive coordinator hire right first. And then you start talking about the quarterback. Are we sold on DJ Lagway being the guy in 2026? That's what I'm most interested in hearing from the Florida fans in the comment section. I think it's a real conversation. I'm going to give some of my takes on the situation as well. Very excited to get into this one and excited to see how it plays out as well, because I think you're going to see Florida go out and make some additions that might make some sense in the Buster Faulkner offense. Transfer portal is going to matter for Florida over the next couple of weeks and months. Appreciate you guys rocking with it, man. I cannot thank the Florida fans enough. It's been such a fun last couple of days talking about the start of the Jon Sumrall tenure. The amount of support's been amazing. Appreciate you guys. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Please let it fly in the comment section. Without further ado, let's get into it now. Let's talk about the concern. Now, but before we talk about the concern, let's talk about the pros, because I could sell you on Buster Faulkner in damn near 30 seconds, right? Go and look at his time at Georgia Tech. Go and look at his time at Georgia Tech in 2025. Top 15 in yards per play. Top 15 in yards per carry, top 25 in yards per pass. Really damn good on third downs, really damn good in the red zone. Does not take a lot of negative plays. All of the key metrics that you want to see on offense, Buster Faulkner is bringing to Florida. And I can't, am I going to get up here and say Buster Faulkner is an elite quarterback developer? I don't think that would be a fair assessment to make. Want to know what he's really damn good at? Getting the best out of his quarterbacks, building an offense where his quarterbacks and their skill set are on full display. And he can run the football. I mean, and not just with, by the way, the success that Georgia Tech has had running the football, yes, Haynes King has played a role. Let's not pretend like that's the only reason this team can run it. He is really good at scheming up a run game. And if you get Jaden Baugh back in 2025 or 2026, excuse me, this rushing attack should be awesome. And I'll say this, really important. Like we always talk about when evaluating offensive coordinators, all right, how many points do they score? What's their quarterbacks look like? Okay, that matters, right? Well, at the end of the day, we evaluate offensive coordinators on the points they put up on the board. You have to, and I mean have to, run the football in this conference. If you want to try to be one-dimensional, heck, we talked about it yesterday, go look at Alabama, right? Alabama, Ty Simpson's good. Wide receivers are really good, struggle to run the football. It's hard to win being a one-dimensional offense in this conference. Every single Saturday, you see some of the best pass rushers in the country every single Saturday. If you are dropping back and throwing the football 50 times a game because you can't run the ball, no matter how good your quarterbacks are, no matter how good your wide receivers are, it's going to be hard to be consistent. Buster Faulkner knows how to run the football, and he really knows how to dial it up. Now, the biggest concern here is he over relying on the quarterback run game, right? I mean, and I think that's a very fair question to ask. You kind of get away for it, or it's the best to use. You get away with it with Haynes King, right? Can you go to the SEC, run your quarterback 20 times a game, and can that be a sustainable way to move the football for 12 plus games in this conference? I don't know. Now, here's what I'll say is I don't think he's over relying on the quarterback run game, because you go look at his offenses prior to Georgia Tech. It's not like we need to have a quarterback that's running the piss out of the football. I think that's more of a Haynes King thing. The thing I love most about Buster Faulkner is, hey, he's going to build his offense around his skill sets, around the players and their skill sets, right? Look at Haynes King. Look, Haynes King, the way you get the best out of Haynes King, let him go be an athlete. Like Haynes King, he ain't going to be a top 10 NFL draft pick. He ain't going to be a top 100 NFL draft pick. He's a good athlete. If we can run the football and build the passing attack from the run game, we can have some success. Is quarterback run going to be a factor in Florida's offense in 2026? Yeah, probably. I don't think it's going to be as big of a factor because you're probably going to have a little bit more of a talented quarterback when it comes to throwing the football. I think the quote unquote over reliance on the quarterback run game, to me, that has a little bit more to do with Haynes King and his skill set and trying to use Haynes King in the most beneficial and effective manner, as opposed to, hey, I can't run an offense without my quarterback running the football 15 times a game. Yeah, that's the best part about him. He builds the offense around the players. Go back to 2024 when they had a guy like Eric Singleton. I mean, we are going to, our wide receivers are going to get involved in a variety of different ways. Jet sweeps, line them up in the backfield, get him the football in space, ask him to go vertical. That's the Buster Faulkner offense. You know, the best way to maybe phrase it, I think we said it yesterday, is feed the studs. Who are the most dynamic football players on our offense? What are the different ways that we can get them opportunities? You know, something that, like, at times, Billy Napier, I don't know if he did a good enough job at. I mean, look at when Florida's offense was at its best at times, it was, hey, we're just turning around the football and giving it to Jaden Baugh. We're giving Vernard Brown or Eugene Wilson or Dallas Wilson all the opportunities in the world to be dynamic. That's what you're going to see from Buster Faulkner. And last thing, we talked about the run game. Very rarely do you see an offense that excels and runs the football as much as Georgia Tech excel in explosive plays. Buster Faulkner does. I mean, one of the most important metrics to an offense putting points up on the board, how many plays can you go 20 plus yards? It's really, really hard, especially in college, to go 16 plays, 80 yards, and score a touchdown. Because during those 16 plays, if you're just going 5 yards and 6 yards and 5 yards, turnovers, drive killing sacks, drive killing penalties, lack of execution. But if you can figure out a way to go 4 plays, 80 yards, and a touchdown and throw in an explosive play or two, hell of a lot easier to score points. Buster Faulkner runs the football a lot. They're also top 15 in the country at Georgia Tech in plays of 20 plus yards. That's rare, man. It's really hard to find these offenses that run the football as much as Georgia Tech ran it, but also figure out ways to be explosive. It's a really good combination. Is it a concern about the quarterback run? Yeah, maybe. But I think there's so much more. There's no perfect offensive coordinator. There's so much to like about what he does on offense that we'll see if that the lack thereof or the over reliance on the quarterback run's a problem. But there's so much to like that you just think this hire is going to be good. Now, here's the other conversation. Who's going to be quarterback one? Let's talk about DJ Lagway. I think the first thing that you have to talk about when evaluating, do we want to put all our eggs into DJ Lagway? Because I saw a Florida fan in the comment section last night say, let's keep DJ Lagway, give him a chance to get better in spring and fall. Without having Billy Napier on the staff, maybe that'll happen, which I think is very fair, right? But let's bring in a quarterback to push him. It's hard to pay 2 quarterbacks the way you want to pay those guys. If you're going to bring in a quarterback to push DJ Lagway, that's a lot of money that's going to a quarterback room, right? I don't know if that's feasible. If you want to rock with DJ Lagway, I think you got to rock with DJ Lagway. I don't think you can bring in a guy to compete with DJ Lagway because that guy's going to cost a lot of money. You can't have 2 quarterbacks on your roster that you're spending that much money on, at least the way I look at it. Maybe you can. We'll see what Florida decides to do now. To me, the big question mark here is like, well, what's the health look like? Do we feel like DJ Lagway can participate in winter workouts, participate all spring, participate in fall camp? You ask me what went wrong with DJ Lagway. I don't think he suddenly just stunk at quarterback, right? Or like lost his talent, you might say. He was not a very good quarterback this year. He didn't just lose his talent, right? You saw a young quarterback that is very talented, but you saw a young quarterback that hadn't really practiced all year. Can you keep him healthy? Is number one. That's the first conversation. Now, if you were going to move on from DJ Lagway, who are some quarterbacks, I'll tell you this. This to me, if DJ Lagway is not playing football for Florida this year, this kid, perfect fit. Can get involved in the quarterback. You can do very similar things with Sam Levitt at Arizona State that you can do with Haynes King, but you can lean on him more as a passer. Infinitely more talented of a thrower of the football than Haynes King is. Sam Levitt would make a lot of sense. Like that quarterback run game can still be a part of the offense. He was very much a part of the offense at Arizona State in 2024, but at the same time, a more talented thrower of the football. Here's another really this is risky, but I think it's worth the conversation. Lincoln Kienholz. This we don't know because we've never really seen him be quarterback one at Ohio State. There's two things that I like. Number one is that was a really, really legit quarterback competition between him and Julian Sain in fall camp. Julian Sain just edges him out. Julian Sain is the best quarterback in the country for my money right now. So you're telling me Lincoln Kienholz almost beat that kid out? Tell him he's a pretty damn good quarterback. And you don't have to break the bank to go out and get him because he's not warranting this monster NIL deal because he's got no production on the football field. Tough kid from South Dakota that can run the football, has actually been used in some design quarterback runs up there at Ohio State. Like, it's risky. This kid could really fit what you want to do. And then the last one, if you want to just really dish it out and really get some momentum and some energy rolling into 2025 or 2026, Lenore Sellers. I don't know how feasible this is. I wouldn't mind seeing an offense where Lenore Sellers running the football 15 times a game. This kid, there's not a better quarterback run or running quarterback, I should say, than Lenore Sellers. And I'll say this. There are a lot of people that are out on Lenore Sellers. They think it was a bad year in 2025. That had nothing to do with Lenore Sellers. This is the worst offensive line at the Power 4 level. It wasn't even close at South Carolina. This kid didn't stand a chance. Would be a fun fit. We'll see. I think it's fascinating. I think you got the offensive coordinator hire right. Now you got to try to get quarterback right. If you can get those two things right in 2026, we can win early. No question about it. And I'll say this too. Should be a pretty attractive offense if you're a quarterback to go in and play. I mean, if you can retain Vernell Brown, retain Dallas Wilson, retain Jaden Ball, hey, I got two stud wide receivers and a running back to lean on. Like, if I'm a quarterback, I'm looking at Florida and saying, hey, with the addition of Buster Faulkner, pretty attractive to go play there. So if you move on from DJ Lagway, I think this could be a program that we're watching for a potential quarterback in the portal. We'll see how they decide to do it. Hey, we trust Buster Faulkner here. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We'll talk to y'all later.